Did you know that nearly 80% of Americans are magnesium deficient, and most of them have no idea? And here in Australia, up to 1 in 3 adults aren't getting enough magnesium from their diet either. From insomnia to anxiety, muscle cramps to migraines, it might all trace back to one mineral your body is quietly begging for. In this episode, we're diving into the magnesium miracle, why this one nutrient is behind hundreds of vital processes in your body, and how your deficiency could be the hidden cause of everything from low energy to brain fog. I want to take you back to a time after I had my 4th child. I was breastfeeding, exhausted, battling migraines, muscle twitches, brain fog. I assumed it was just being a tired mum, but that was the default explanation. But when I saw a naturopath, she ran a few tests and sat me down, and she told me, "Beth, your magnesium levels are incredibly low." That was my light bulb moment, because all the symptoms I thought were just life, the tension, the anxiety, the fatigue, suddenly had a root cause. Turns out I wasn't alone. Up to 80% of people in the US are magnesium deficient, and here in Australia, about 1 in 3 adults aren't getting enough from their diet either. And most of us have no clue, because magnesium deficiency is rarely tested for and almost never talked about, but it should be. Magnesium is responsible for over 300 biochemical reactions in your body. That's everything from making energy, to calming your nervous system, to moving your muscles, to helping your brain think clearly. So when you're low, you're not just a little off, you're running on empty at a cellular level. And here's where it gets really important. Modern life is perfectly designed to deplete your magnesium stores. Let's look at why. Caffeine, that morning coffee, and the second one, speeds up magnesium loss through your urine. Secondly, alcohol. It interferes with absorption and flushes it out. Then we've got sugar. It burns through magnesium during its metabolism. And stress, whether it's emotional or physical, drains your stores faster than you can replenish. And then medications like the pill, antacids, antibiotics, and even diuretics can lower your magnesium levels without you realizing. And even your soil is depleted. Thanks to the industrial farming, the spinach or silver beet you're eating today has far less magnesium than what your grandmother ate 50 years ago. So even if you think you're doing the right thing, eating whole foods, getting outside, trying to be healthy, you may still be running low on this essential mineral. And the symptoms? They're sneaky. They show up as things we normalize, like being tired, being tense, being bloated, foggy, forgetful, and reactive. But what if you're not just run down? What if your body is quietly begging for magnesium and it's being ignored? Let's break this down simply, because I know health can feel overwhelming. Magnesium isn't just another supplement. It's a foundational mineral that supports nearly every system in your body. Here's what it actually does for you. It does muscle function. Ever had a random eye twitch or a leg cramp in the middle of the night, or that post-workout soreness that lingers longer than it should? Magnesium helps muscles relax and contract properly. It works with calcium to keep your muscles functioning smoothly. Without enough of it, you can experience cramps, tightness, or even spasms. I used to get intense calf cramps during the night whilst breastfeeding, and it was actually one of my early signs that something was off. Then we've got energy production. Magnesium is essential for the process of converting the food you eat into energy at a cellular level. It activates something called ATP. Think of it as your body's battery pack. And when you're low in magnesium, your cells literally can't create energy efficiently, leaving you feeling drained, sluggish, and mentally flat, no matter how much coffee you drink. And if you're someone who says, "I'm just tired all the time," this might be your missing link. Then we've got mental health. Magnesium plays a critical role in regulating neurotransmitters, which are those chemical messengers in your brain that affects mood, focus, and stress response. It supports GABA, which is your brain's calming neurotransmitter, helping reduce anxiety and overstimulation. Low magnesium has been linked to increased levels of cortisol, your stress hormone, and a higher risk of anxiety and depression. There's even a 2017 study published in PLOS ONE showing that daily magnesium supplementation significantly improved mild to moderate depression in just 2 weeks. Then we've got heart rhythm. Magnesium helps maintain a normal heart rhythm and supports overall cardiovascular health. It works alongside calcium and potassium to ensure your heart contracts properly with every beat. And a deficiency can cause irregular heartbeats, and has been linked to an increased risk of high blood pressure and even sudden cardiac events. This is one reason doctors check magnesium levels in patients with heart issues. It's that important. Then we've got sleep quality. If you're struggling to fall asleep or stay asleep, magnesium is involved in the production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. It also binds to GABA receptors in the brain, promoting calmness and helping the nervous system wind down for the night. And I noticed this personally. When I added magnesium before bed, I stopped waking up at 3 a.m. feeling wired. I started sleeping through the night, and that's a big deal for a mum. Then we've got blood sugar regulation. Magnesium plays a huge role in insulin sensitivity, which helps regulate blood sugar levels. And without enough magnesium, insulin doesn't work as well. And this can contribute to insulin resistance over time, which increases your risk of type 2 diabetes. In fact, one large study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people with the highest magnesium intake had significantly lower levels of insulin resistance and inflammation. So let's look at the clinical evidence. Let's bring it back to the science. A massive meta-analysis involving over 1 million people showed that increased magnesium intake was linked with, firstly, a 22% lower risk of stroke, a 19% lower risk of type 2 diabetes, and 10% lower risk of heart disease. That's huge, all from one mineral. So when we say magnesium is essential, we really mean it. It touches every system in your body, your muscles, your energy, your mind, your sleep, your heart, your blood sugar. And you're even slightly deficient, the effects ripple through your entire well-being. Okay, let's clear up some common myths about magnesium because there's a lot of confusion out there. And if you're like me, you probably believe at least one of these before learning the truth. Myth number 1, my blood test was normal, so I'm fine. This one's tricky. The truth is only 1% of the magnesium in your body is in your blood. The rest is stored in your bones, your muscles, and cells. So a standard blood test might look normal, but it tells you almost nothing about what's happening inside your tissues, where magnesium is actually doing its job. And unless you're severely deficient, that test won't catch it. Myth 2, I eat healthy, so I don't need to worry about magnesium. I thought this too. I ate clean, I juiced, I loved my leafy greens, but here's the catch. Our food isn't what it used to be. Modern agriculture has stripped magnesium from our soil, meaning the spinach or the silver beet you eat today contains a fraction of the magnesium it did 50 years ago. Even if you're eating all the right foods, you might still be not absorbing enough. Myth number 3, all magnesium supplements are the same. Definitely not. Some forms like magnesium oxide have poor absorption and just give you a quick trip to the bathroom. But others like magnesium glycinate or citrate or threonate are much more bioavailable. And this means your body actually absorbs and uses them. So choosing the right form makes all the difference in how you feel. And these myths are holding people back from feeling better. And that's exactly why I'm doing this video, because when you understand magnesium, you realize it's not just a supplement, it's a quiet hero in your health story. So how do you know if you're magnesium deficient? Because the symptoms are sneaky and often get written off as just being busy or getting older or mum life. But here are some common red flags I want you to listen closely to. Muscle cramps or eye twitches that come out of nowhere, fatigue that doesn't go away even with rest, mood swings, PMS or anxiety that feels worse than it should, trouble falling asleep or waking up wired, brain fog, forgetting names, losing your train of thought, headaches or migraines, feeling stressed or overstimulated all the time, constipation or sluggish digestion. If you're nodding along to 2 or more of these, it might not be a character flaw, it might not even be burnout, it could be your body waving a red flag saying, I need magnesium. And these are the signs I ignored for years. And once I understood the connection, everything started to shift. So here's what changed for me. I began to take high-quality magnesium supplement, specifically magnesium glycinate, which is gentle in the gut and highly absorbable. And within a week, my headaches were gone. I was sleeping deeper, the twitching had stopped, and my brain fog started to lift. And then I started hearing from women in our with Beth community. One mum said her restless leg syndrome disappeared. Another said her PMS and anxiety were drastically reduced. And a third emailed me to say she hadn't slept through the night in years until she started supplementing magnesium. So let's not forget the research. One 2020 study in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences found that magnesium supplementation significantly improved symptoms of depression and anxiety. especially in women. And another study published in Sleep found that magnesium improves both the duration and the quality of sleep, especially in older adults. And in clinical trial in 2012, even showed improved insulin resistance in people with type 2 diabetes after supplementing magnesium. It's not a magic pill, but it is a foundational mineral that modern life has quietly stripped away. So how do we fix this? Start with food. Some magnesium-rich foods include dark leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard, silver beet, nuts and seeds, especially pumpkin seeds, avocados, dark chocolate, yes, actually dark chocolate, legumes and whole grains, bananas, and watch your habits, reduce caffeine, sugar, alcohol, and manage stress. These all deplete magnesium, and consider supplementation. But not all magnesium is created equal. Here are a few forms you should know. Magnesium glycinate, it's best for anxiety, sleep, and stress. Then we've got magnesium citrate. It's great for digestion and it can have a laxative effect. Then we've got magnesium malate, which is good for energy and muscle pain. And magnesium threonate, it supports brain health and cognitive function. So always consult with your doctor or naturopath before adding a supplement, especially if you're on medication. And here's a pro tip. Magnesium is best absorbed when taken with dinner or before bed, and pairing it with calcium, B6, or vitamin D can enhance its effects. So I want to share a story from one of my closest friends. After her third baby, she had intense postpartum anxiety. Her heart would race, she couldn't sleep even when the baby did, and she was constantly on edge. So blood tests showed she was magnesium deficient, and after just 4 weeks on magnesium glycinate and some simple dietary shifts, she felt human again. Her words, not mine. And this isn't isolated. In fact, magnesium deficiency is now being referred to as a public health crisis by experts like Dr. Carolyn Dean, who says it best. You're not sick, you're magnesium deficient. I once met a woman in her late 60s after one of my workshops, and she told me she thought her joint pain, poor sleep, and memory fog weren't just about, or they were just a part of getting older, but something didn't sit right with her. She started supplementing with magnesium, and within 6 weeks, everything changed. The joints loosened, her sleep improved, and her mind felt sharper. She said to me, I feel like myself again, and I didn't realize how far I drifted until I came back. And that's what I love about magnesium. It doesn't just help you feel better, it helps you feel like you again. And this was true for me, it was true for my friend, and for thousands of others. All right, let's recap. If you're feeling overwhelmed, here's your magnesium miracle checklist. Simple, clear, and to the point. Eat magnesium-rich foods daily, like leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, avocados, dark chocolate, legumes, bananas, or whole grains. Number 2, reduce the magnesium thieves. Cut back on caffeine, sugar, alcohol, and stress where you can. Number 3, supplement smart. Choose the right form for your needs. And number 4, track how you feel. Pay attention to sleep, mood, energy, and muscle tension over a few weeks. And lastly, talk to your healthcare provider, especially if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or on medication, or managing a chronic condition. Small shifts can create big wins, and magnesium just might be your body's missing link. So here's the bottom line. If you're constantly tired, moody, anxious, struggling to sleep, or your body just isn't feeling right, magnesium might be the missing piece. It supports your muscles, your mind, your hormones, your heart. It's not optional, it's essential. If you've ever tried magnesium, I want to hear from you. Comment below with your experience. What changes did you notice? And if you're curious about other health topics like this, make sure to watch my other video, Why Am I Always Tired? I break down fatigue, nutrient deficiencies, and how to get your energy back naturally. And if you want a powerful wake-up call, check out this one. Fast food giants lied. They're destroying your health. I'll link it below. Your health doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be understood.